There you go.
Nailed it. Cracking a cold one.
Are you drinking Red Thunder?
I am.
It's an energy drink.
Brand.
$2.99 for 4 cans. Fight me.
I mean, yeah, we can film that as a podcast. All right, Dalton, you as the guest, you're welcome to fight Tyler at any point physically.
Yeah. All the time. Yeah.
Oh, but now they don't. Oh, but now they don't get to.
Yeah, no.
Sad.
What a shame.
And whose fault is that? He literally gave you a way out. He's like, I don't know if I should, and then you're like, yeah, do it, and then
I rolled the nat 20.
it's your fault. It's your fault.
Well, it worked out, man.
Did it? It was great. Yeah.
Oh no,
It didn't work at all.
Oh, let me tell you
I
what's about
regret
to
nothing.
happen. Oh, buddy,
Don't tell
you
us.
thought the left reveal was something.
Spoilers.
The D&D spoilers.
Spoilers.
Yeah, I'll tell you everything that's about to happen. Hi guys, welcome to the Blue Eclipse podcast. I am always Frank Joseph Hall,
I'm most of the time Tyler D. Spence.
I think I'm Evan Plumley.
and today we have a special guest.
I'm Dalton Plumley.
Whoa.
Wow.
Whoa, it's my brother.
He said that with
It's on the podcast.
He said that with such youth and vigor, unlike us 20-somethings. Ugh. We lost all hope.
Long ago.
Don't worry, Dalton, that's what college will do to you.
I'm so glad that in the last podcast that we filmed, I realized that me and you were the same age.
All right.
Yeah.
Did you not know that?
I didn't know that.
It's.
Wow.
I like how also the way you phrased it was, how many years have you been?
No, I asked.
Which technically speaking, it would be 23 because there was a year that you were 0.
See, here's the thing, right? Is
So-
that I asked that though because I was asking specifically which one of those years. It was in tandem to the question.
No, I know, but you could have just asked how old are you.
Yeah, I could have, but
That's boring.
it's boring. Yeah.
Welcome to the Blue Eclipse podcast, where we do random topics of random things.
Randomly.
We even have a bowl for it,
We
like a
do
random bowl of
sometimes.
topics.
We've used it once, and this is episode 23.
Man, we have so much to talk about. We're such
We got to do something.
interesting
We got to
people.
do something for the 25th episode.
You're right, we do.
Yeah, we got
I
it.
don't know what yet, but we'll figure
It's
it
gonna
out.
be something cool or very disappointing. Hopefully,
Probably
the
disappointing.
Hopefully, maybe we'll get like all 4 of us who are actually here working and not
Not me.
Not this guy.
not the guy temporarily living in the house, not paying rent and mooching off our food.
I'm the big mooch here.
The big mooch, so we call him.
The Bitwig.
That's your name now.
The big.
I was gonna say, I just call you the
Little
dude.
Lebowski.
I'm the dude.
The dude.
No, but that's reserved for Thick Thor now.
You're right.
True.
Thick Thor.
Thick Thor. All right, Tyler, you said you had a topic.
I do have a topic. So the topic for today, because I'd like to consider all of us here, them epic gamers.
Oh, actually, no, I don't play Fortnite. I don't play Fortnite.
You don't need to play Fortnite to
but
be
you
an
said
epic gamer.
No, but I don't play.
Just
I mean,
because,
I played
just
Gears of
because
War.
Epic is a studio, right?
No, I
doesn't
mean, I
mean that
played-
they get to commandeer the word epic,
I
right?
don't know about that. They
That's not
can't
how this,
trademark
that's not how
it.
this works. So, I wanted to ask, what is your favorite video game that you have played? Very specific on this because I know at least I have watched a lot of games that I haven't played, but out of all the games that you have played, what is your favorite?
Are there limitations to this answer?
As long as you have played it.
All the Mass Effects, well, except Andromeda. I haven't played that one. So
it's-
1, 2, and 3, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be one. Like, if you
Yeah.
want to go through some of your favorites, I'm not saying pick
So,
the ultimate
Let
favorite.
me start with Mass Effect. I really enjoyed the first one. Sure, the combat sucks. Like a lot.
Yeah.
I forgot where I was going. But
Yeah,
no,
combat's
but I
not-
thought the choices were actually really interesting. I liked the fact that you could get to this really, like the point where it's Rex versus Miranda. And it was like, oh, was it Miranda? No,
Well,
it's
that's-
Ashley.
No, I was gonna say
Ashley. Sorry, there's too many names and so many names. And they're like literally it's like about to diffuse and I'm like, "Oh, okay." And then there's like an option to like diffuse it and they don't hate each other. But you have to have completed so many things and like the first run through I'm like, "Wait, I didn't do that." No. So then you try to diffuse it, but one of them dies or you kill one of them and the other one and then it was like that and then later on you had the literal choice of like, "Okay, you got to save Kanan or Ashley, which one?" I want to save both. Nope. But I want to no.
Nope.
One of them dies. Which one? That one.
Eeny, meeny, miny.
Yeah.
And then 2 was so good because like I didn't realize how many like of the choices would affect 2. It was really like sometimes it was just a cameo, like I'm that one person from the laboratory from the first game, and I cool. Here's a thingy. But then like there's actually like deep choices, like whether or not Rex makes it out of that situation alive shows how the Krogan like deal with you. Because if it's Rex, he's like, oh, we're friends. Yeah, of course I'll let you do it. But then like if it's not Rex,
Yeah,
then
it's a new leader.
dude. And then like the third one, I think also delivers on like ending a lot of those stories really well. I think it does a good job of like just how brutal war can be. And I know
Morden.
I know a lot of people aren't a fan of the ending, but to be fair, one, it was gonna be disappointing no matter what. Like, unless they did thousands of different endings, but that would have been super tough on their part. And also, I personally believe in the indoctrination theory. Look that up online if you will. I like that a lot, and so I go with that theory a lot. But I ultimately love the game. I think it's a really fun one. Would love to stream it sometime. Just going around it, but not choosing Paragon or Renegade. Just making like interesting choices and seeing the game like actually like credits you for that. And I think it's a really fun game. I gotta replay it, especially 2. 2 is just so good. I played that like 5 or 6 times in like the 2-3 years after it came out. It was just such a fun game.
It is a good game. I really like the Mass Effect series in general too.
Mm-hmm. I haven't played Andromeda, so I don't know.
Don't play Andromeda.
I haven't.
Waste your time.
Waste my time?
You just think of Mass Effect 1, but worse. It's literally, I mean, the combat's great, but Andromeda itself, like the story
But
is
I hear
literally.
there's twins.
Yeah, but the
You
story.
play as twins.
No, you play as one of the twins.
Ooh.
Yeah, the story is just a rehash of one.
I always said it would have been interesting if the first time you play Andromeda, you're playing through it, you pick like the guy or the girl, and then like that character dies and you have to play as the other twin. I felt like that would have been an interesting choice.
Well, yeah, but now you just pick the one twin and the other one dies.
I know. But like the first time you played, not knowing that would have been interesting.
I think so, yeah.
So,
but then they would have had to have you customize both.
Well, they did. You could have customized both of them.
Yeah, but
and then the way it was customized, obviously, yeah. So that was just my thing. I also like Mass Effect, or not Mass Effect. I already said that. Fallout 3. I enjoy that a lot. Fun game.
I'm in the New Vegas camp because it's the equivalent of Coke or Pepsi for those games.
Like I think both of them have value in them.
Well, yeah, but New Vegas is better.
But New Vegas forces you to have to make. You see, yeah, I know. There's some videos that make arguments for both, and I think that it's just ultimately
Fallout 3.
We're not
usually liked.
We're just talking about what we like.
Right.
We're just talking about what we like, and what I like is Fallout 3. Just a little bit more than New Vegas.
You like New Vegas?
Yeah, I like New Vegas a lot.
Yeah, we're not going to argue about which one's better.
I'm not arguing. I wasn't going to argue.
There was no argument.
Start
This
here.
is fact. This is the better one.
Evan, you don't understand. There's a common thing Tyler and I say. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion, even if it's wrong.
Yep.
Yep. So,
Nice.
Speaking of which, what's your favorite game, Evan?
My favorite game of all time probably would be Batman Arkham City. City was my favorite. I played that game for hours and hours. It expanded upon the Asylum first game in the best way possible. Like this free roaming, you can do whatever you want.
I'd
flying
agree.
around.
And I mean, just in general, everything with it being, a sequel in a later game, I generally think that basically all the mechanics that they kind of nailed in the first one, they just improved on in City.
Oh, definitely.
Absolutely.
And then they give you a bigger map to fly around with
amazing.
like no loading times.
That was, yes.
It's super good. Super fun
The
game.
Mr. Freeze fight is
It was
obviously
one of my favorite boss fights of all time.
No, for sure.
It was terrifying.
It's the game. The game's rewarding you for knowing how to take down the enemies in different ways.
You
It's
can
a
do
very
it. You can
smart
do
way.
the same one twice.
It's a very smart mechanic.
Very stressful.
Yeah.
But very good.
How'd you feel about the twist with the whole Joker being sick the whole time, and it turns out he just had the doppelganger of Clayface? Did you not care?
I didn't. It was fine.
And then he dies.
I got to fight Clayface, and then Joker dies.
Yeah, take that, Mark Hamill. We'll never see you as Joker again. Wait a minute.
Except, wait a minute.
Wait a second.
Wait a minute.
Wait a moment.
Did you like Arkham Knight?
I never finished Arkham Knight. I couldn't get past this freaking dang tank battle thing.
tank
I
battle
forgot which
sucked.
one it was.
No,
I don't think
yeah.
they sucked. I just don't think that they were very Batman.
It was
I didn't
like
find them
this
very
is a game
interesting.
about stealth
All right,
and
guys, we're
like
gonna stealth around and kill the tanks that are
I
not
did
automated by
not
people.
like tank battles very much. I know that's popular to say, but
So
I liked Origins
I was like,
better than Knight.
Did you know who the Arkham Knight was?
Origins is okay.
It was one of the Robins.
It was Jason Todd.
Yeah, Jason Todd.
I remember watching. I'm like, oh man, it's gonna be interesting who it is. They said it's an original character.
It was
Listen,
not.
old man. Oh, it's Jason Todd. Right. I mean, is it? This is not obvious. Okay. I'm just gonna wait until they inevitably reveal it, because then they did like the whole Killing Joke thing and the death of Jason Todd, which is half the reason Mark Hamill came back to voice Joker. Which I actually liked how they voiced him. I thought the middle part was great, where he's just the Joker's just in your head the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was really good. You liked Asylum? I'm assuming.
I liked Asylum a lot. Asylum was the first game in the series I played.
I remember when they came out. I'm like, this is. I played the like demo for that for.
Asylum
where
was-
you had the stealth level that you just
Asylum
kept
was
playing
the
over
only
and
thing
over
I would
again.
say about Asylum is the boss battles were like always the same, other than maybe the Killer Croc one. The Killer Croc one was
Yeah, we had to be
sneak around the
careful.
sewer.
Yeah,
and
but
like,
we don't
it's-
ever talk about the final boss fight. in
Yeah, no one
Asylum.
talks about that buff
All
buff
right,
Joker.
My big villainy plan is to make me jacked.
God,
Showtime.
no!
Yeah, don't do drugs.
Yeah, no, the
kids.
second one definitely
The
improved.
second
on
one's
the
definitely
fights.
the better one, I think.
Origins.
I liked Origins.
I liked Origins too.
Everyone talks about Origins, but I liked it better than Knight.
It's not
Just for
hard.
for the pure fact that I didn't have to drive around a tank.
I love.
I
Like,
don't have an opinion on Origins. Well, I have an opinion on Origins. I don't have a valid opinion on
actually
Origins 'cause
finished
I didn't
Origins.
play it.
I there's a point in Origins where Bane is working with Joker and he gets you in like Blackgate, and it's basically like, all right, Batman, because like you see
Oh, I know
Joker.
I know the premise of Origins. I've seen the gameplay. I just haven't played it, so that's why my opinion's not
is
valid.
fascinated with Batman because Batman saved his life. And
Yeah.
so like he's like, why the heck would you do that? I'm clearly maniacal. And so he gets just fascinated. And then he puts Batman versus Bane. And he's like, I want you to kill Bane. I don't do that. Okay, cool. Well, Bane's heart rate is hooked up to this monitor, which will shock
Yeah, I know.
Gordon.
I've seen the fight.
Yeah,
Everything. I know.
that whole thing I loved because I was like, oh man, they thought of everything. How the heck is Batman getting out of this? Oh dang.
Yeah.
It was really interesting. I was mad that they kind of wiped Bane's memory because I liked that they were using the very tactical Bane.
Yeah.
Where he's like, oh, I figured out you're Bruce Wayne. It's not that hard. It's like,
It's not that hard.
yeah. And then he magically forgot. Magically.
Mighty convenient.
Mighty convenient.
Mighty convenient.
But no, I enjoyed that too. I thought some of the boss fights were great, especially the electrocutioner boss fight.
Yes, that was.
The hardest boss fight of all. Oh.
Okay.
Well, now I have these
All
electric
right.
gauntlets.
Sweet. Gameplay.
Sorry.
Well, no, the Deathstroke boss fight was really good, too.
Sorry, your favorite game of all time will change once I get you playing Spider-Man.
Yeah, I haven't put Spider-Man yet because I'm afraid if I play it, I won't stop.
I think my favorite was Dalton was playing. He's like, yeah, Evan, we'll love this game.
Yeah.
I prefer Spider-Man over Batman any day, but you know.
Well, what was funny too is Tyler and I had played it.
Oh,
Darius had
I've
it.
literally, one of the main reasons I bought a PlayStation was for Spider-Man. Was for Spider-Man and Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of
And-
those was
I really
good.
I really
They were both pretty
considered
good.
buying a PS4 till we get Spider-Man game. as
Well, yeah, but I just found it funny how it took you just a little bit to get used to the combat. So like, you'd be like, why am I not getting it?
I
And
just,
then Tyler and I would take over, and he's like, how? What?
yeah, see, the problem is though is that I have 100% of that game, and I'm now going through my new game plus on whatever the hardest difficulty in the game is with like all my.
Yeah, I was saying you have all your gadgets. And
Yeah,
all
so
your
it's not as
unlockables.
bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, Spider-Man's pretty good.
I want to play it.
All right, so we go from an RPG to like a more standard like action
Open world.
Open world.
Beat 'em up.
game. Yeah.
straight story. And then Dalton Plumley, why don't you go next?
Fortnite.
We'll save the Tyler
Because
for
mine will
last.
probably be longer.
well. Yeah. I don't know, man.
Sonic
There's a
06.
lot of,
Hey, like I said, you don't have to pick.
What's the one that he turns into a
specifically one,
werewolf?
Just like
That's
go through a
Unleashed.
couple that like you really, really enjoyed. Like
I probably have to do Skyrim. Because Skyrim, Elder Scrolls 5 was just like beautiful game. Just really well done game for me.
until they re-released
Still-
it 26 times.
Yeah,
The Switch
And I
version
buy-
is still
I buy-
good.
I buy it every time they re-release it. I buy the new version. I know it's
You're
the same.
part of the problem.
Yeah.
Now, question: has that game gone up or down since playing D&D? Like, do you enjoy it more, or are you like, man, this isn't D&D?
Well, Skyrim is like sort of the reason I enjoy D&D so much
Mm-hmm.
because of the open world that you get and just like the freedom I feel when I play Skyrim and just do whatever I want.
Yeah.
Have you played Skyrim since you played
D&D.
I have not recently played Skyrim.
All right.
You should try it again because it's well, I mean, I almost recommend not like keep your memory of Skyrim because
Tyler and I had the exact same thing where we're like, this isn't like, sure, like there's stuff to do, but like, Yeah, it's not D&D.
Yeah, you're like, well, at least only one of these requires friends. So, you know.
Yeah. No, I think Skyrim is. I think it's probably the best Elder Scrolls game we're probably gonna get, considering the track record Bethesda's been doing recently. I hope I'm wrong.
If for whatever reason they decide to keep 6 on the same engine as Fallout 76, then no, it's going to be garbage. I actually really don't even want to buy the next Elder Scrolls, no matter how good it looks. I just don't want to support what Bethesda's done with 76.
They have like wasted a lot of good faith that people had.
They've
Even after 4,
absolutely ruined it.
Yeah,
I mean,
just
4 really wasn't like 4 was tragically awful, but like 76 is.
This is what happened with 4. Everyone loved it, and then as the years went on, it just slowly declined in popularity.
I mean, that's the same thing with a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but like not even just like people stopped playing. It was like people found its flaws a lot more. Kind of a thing.
I've watched a couple of videos way too many times to
3-hour-long videos.
Yeah, because that's what I do in my. In case you're wondering what I do in my spare time, I watch people talk about video games. You know,
and then I sort of listen in.
Yeah,
bits and pieces.
Yeah. Like when I was watching the one on Odyssey, Super Mario.
I heard that one.
Yeah.
But
talking about like the in-game mechanics about his hat and stuff. I'm like,
yeah, how he's splitting up the games, and he's like, "Oh, I finally found a reason to talk about Dark Souls." He's like obligatory Dark Souls reference.
But no, it's funny because D&D unintentionally, it doesn't ruin it, but it makes me not enjoy other things as much. There's a board game called Gloomhaven that's basically like D&D in a box, and you don't need a GM to run it. The problem is, it's very limited. So it's like, all right, we're gonna go on this adventure. Cool, we got to choose which adventure we're going on. All right, on the way there, you run into these not orcs. Do you try to be friends with them or attack them? Well, can I like try to be friends with them and then attack them? No, you choose one or the other.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I attack my friend right next to me because he's the rogue or the thief, and he wants to steal my stuff? No. I can't even attack my friend. No. What is the point of this? And then you don't even roll dice. You draw from a deck of cards.
Yeah.
So sad. So sad. So sad.
So Skyrim.
So yeah, Skyrim.
It's a pretty good game.
Yeah.
You ever finished the main story in Skyrim? I'm actually curious.
Yeah.
Okay, I have too. Yeah, I was curious.
I always get distracted by side quests.
Yeah, no, see, everyone does, because here's what happens. Oh, kill the first dragon.
Yeah, but there's that clan of werewolves that I didn't realize was a clan of werewolves until I became friends with them and became a werewolf. So like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do werewolf things now.
yeah, I'm gonna do werewolf things now until I become a vampire and then I
until that
lose my
expansion
vamp-
come out.
I
Yeah.
flipping love the werebears on Solstice.
Oh, yeah.
Just random like werebears. The first time I ran into a werebear, I freaked out because I was like, what is this?
I remember because Skyrim is interesting how you level up by learning things. Like you don't level.
That's one of the main reasons why the gameplay loop in that game is so addicting.
Yeah.
And you
But
can
especially
open
at the
up a
lower
book
levels.
And read the entire book the second you open it up.
But I
It's like, oh,
remember-
this book.
I remember there was a cheat where you could become friends with the champions to where they'll always go on missions with you. So then what you do is you pay them to train you in a skill,
then you make
and
them
then
your
you
follower
take
and
their
steal the
money,
gold.
and then you just
Yep.
keep doing that.
You can do that even in
again.
the very first town with what's his name, the elf the wood elf that can be one of your followers. You can literally you don't even have to. You just have to do that little like love triangle quest for him,
Oh, yeah.
and then it's like, oh, okay, well now,
Riverwood.
and now you're my follower. All right, so you're
you
gonna
can
train
change me in
and
archery.
then I can take my gold. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ways to break that game.
Yeah.
And I've seen it played in some really weird ways.
I've heard
the
there's a blind guy in a cave, and so you just stealth. You rubber band your controller and stealth back and forth to get to 100.
You can do that.
stealth.
You can do that in the first cave with the bear.
Oh, yeah.
the bear.
Yeah. When you're trying to escape from whatchamacallit.
Do you just like? Is it just because it's fantasy? Like, what about
Yeah,
it?
well, it's because I played it when I was like really young. So like it was like one of the first ever
Really
games
young.
I really actually played.
Mhm.
And I like played it to completion, which was amazing. But sort of as you grow older or whatever, I see like all the flaws in it, like how buggy that game is.
It's still buggy.
Every single yeah.
Like the horse jumping.
You think a Bethesda game can ever not be buggy?
I would.
Fallout 3 is still buggy.
A man can hope.
My favorite thing to do in that game is just climb mountains with horses because it's just like you can just glitch up the mountain all the way up and it's amazing.
I'm at the top of the world.
Yeah.
But now that I have mods, now with the new special edition,
Mhm.
you can add mods.
Yeah, on the new consoles and stuff.
I was saying, that was literally the one I was going to
Oh.
ask. There's only one Thomas the Tank Engine mod that beats that, and it's Resident Evil 4.
Resident Evil 2.
Resident
Resident Evil
Evil
2 that
2.
makes Mr. X.
Thomas the Tank Engine.
No.
It's the greatest thing. Because you just hear do 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 do. It's like,
It's a really fun game. Just like I have to have you sit down and play Soma with me. I got to sit down and play that game with you too. That game's
scary.
super fun.
Scary.
Supposedly.
Oh, another really fun game that I love to play is Rocket League.
Yeah.
I love the mechanics of that game.
That game's really what I like about that game a lot, because I've played it quite a bit, because I've had friends who've owned it and like did like game share and stuff like that. Rocket League's really cool because it really is a multiplayer game. Like there's like obviously you have like your MMOs and everything else that comes out, and even your FPSs that have like all this other stuff, but all there is in Rocket League is the gameplay, aside from the customization of your car, and that's it. You don't, and so like the fact that it hones in so well on the mechanics of that game to make it as competitive as it is really cool.
Right. Oh, and the most recent game I'm playing is Sea of Thieves,
Mm-hmm.
and because they just came out with their 1-year anniversary update, and it just added so much to the game. So everyone basically stopped playing the game.
Well, yeah, because when the game first came out, it was kind of like
there was nothing to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Which
That
is
sounds
fine.
familiar. No Man's Sky.
Yeah, but No Man's Sky.
It's a really pretty game. But this 1-year anniversary, they added all this like the tall tales and like the legendary, legendary pirates in the taverns. You can go down and unlock a ton of stuff, and it's just so much like more to do in the game now. It's amazing.
Would you say that your enjoyment for that game comes more from the literal gameplay itself, or the fact that, at least as far as I'm aware, you've played it a lot with friends?
Playing it with friends will just increase your enjoyment of that game just tenfold.
This is an important question. Have you ever decided to play the Lazy Towns You Are a Pirate while playing? Har, har,
Guess we're gonna have to do it next time.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna.
We're going to blast that the second you start playing.
Remember,
you know?
Once I hook it
Good
up.
Google's right there.
Yeah, Google. Hey, Google.
Not right
All
now.
right. Well, Tyler.
Sea of Thieves, Skyrim,
Rocket League.
and Rocket League.
I have to say my big three right now.
Sir Tyler of the House Spence. First of his name,
Yeah.
last of his name. Maybe. We
Maybe.
don't know. I don't know. I
yet.
can't see the future.
Right.
Here we go. That's the podcast right here.
Well, yeah, we have less than 9 minutes.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, we have as long as we want.
Yeah. So for me, it's kind of hard because I've been playing games since I was like 3 years old. My dad stick a controller in my hand, and I have fond memories of being like 5 or 6, like playing games on the PlayStation 1 and things like that. Yeah, I've been playing games for a very long time. But the thing is there are certain years of my life where I got stuck in certain MMOs, which for anyone who's ever played an MMO, it just sucks away years of your life.
Now D&D does that.
Yeah, but like I mean, like
better.
WoW did it for me for a couple years. So there's like some gaps of like certain games that I missed, but especially with like when the 360 was out, I was really into a whole bunch of games that came out on that system. But I mean, obviously, like Halo 3 had the most playtime for me because I used to be one of those kids that would like level accounts to 50 in playlist and sell them when I was younger. That's how I made my money. That's how I got to buy video games, was doing that.
I feel like that's so weird to hear that. It's like 12-year-old Tyler making, it's like, here's a 50, go.
Yeah, here's a level 50 account. People would literally PayPal me money. It's great.
Wow.
Yeah, it's awesome.
The internet, man.
Mm-hmm. Revolutionary.
Why don't you still do that, man?
Because the new Halos are hot garbage. And also Bungie made Destiny, and then that's so speaking of Destiny, that game series in general,
You mean the one that you took 2 days off to
for the new season to drop. Yeah. I would probably say it's hard because I really enjoy the Destiny series because I feel like Bungie, even though all of the flaws, there's so many flaws in those games, but like I don't know what it is, but just what the mechanics of the gameplay, the FPS that they've kind of fine-tuned. It's the stuff that I really loved from Halo, but even on a more epic scale, because now you're not just Master Chief or whoever. Now you are this Guardian who has these immense powers, and they're all super fun and different to play, even though I've been a Hunter main since D1 beta.
and you kind of like see the evolution of that with Reach, where like they started introducing the armor powers, so you can kind of see like what how they were getting there.
And Bungie, especially with the new season that's dropped, they've just done so much, and you know, especially with me watching the different streams and everything for World's First and like catching in on all that and everything. It's truly, it's a game that I've spent way too many hours on. I believe I have over 600 hours on my main character, and I have like over 200 on my Titan, and then like a little over 100 on my Warlock.
Dang.
And Halo 3, I had like thousands of hours in. Like and you know, there's just games that I've played a lot. Like also Destiny 2 is one of the games that most of the friends that I've made from that game I still have, and a lot of different communities that I've joined for that game. What's another game that's impacted me a bunch? League of Legends, for like a good solid like.
No, yeah, there was a time in high school where I was friends with like Tyler and a bunch of other people, and they were like League, and I'm like
me, Lewis, Pedro,
and I was over in the corner like, oh, okay, I'll
League
be
of Legends.
here, not your friend, I guess.
That's Pedro's fault. Pedro's the one who got me into League of Legends, and he didn't even play it anywhere near as much as I did. But there's some friends that I've made that I've even gone to actually meet in real life. Like there's a buddy that I've been gaming with for like 7 years now, and I actually flew up to New York this past like December to meet him in person for the first time, and it was pretty cool.
Dang.
Yeah.
Have either of you played League or some type of? Give me a second. What's the genre? MOBA.
No.
I played.
They're cool.
I also
Smite,
played Smite.
yeah.
played
I enjoyed
for
Smite.
about 4 seconds, and then realized I sucked at those games. I was like, I can't play this.
See, I don't know why I enjoyed Smite a lot more than League. It might have been the camera view somehow because instead of top down, it was third.
Smite's also a lot easier to grasp than
Yeah,
League.
I enjoyed Smite.
Smite,
Nice.
League's got a learning curve to say the least.
Yeah, and they keep introducing more and more new.
There's over 100.
champions.
I believe there's over 140
Yeah,
champions
there's a
now
lot.
Wow.
that you can pick from.
They're still making their money, Evan. Fun fact.
Wow.
There are teams that just make money off of playing League of Legends.
Yeah, pro leagues. Yep.
Wow.
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 I think a game. I'm trying to think of a good single player game. I guess since you brought up like recently games you played, I think everyone should play Soma. I think that game is like an incredibly good game, and sort of the existential dread it leaves you with at the end is.
Apparently, it's not a horror game.
No, it's not. It's a meme. It's a meme from a video that I showed
did
Ethan.
one of the developers like?
No. It was a dude that I watched, the same one who was doing the Odyssey video and things like that. He
stresses me
yeah,
out.
yeah.
Like,
It's super enjoyable, and just there's a lot of themes that it hits on in that game that I really like. And I think that it sort of makes you think about a lot of stuff. Like even my buddy Ethan, he was like, dude, I'm still thinking about that game. And I'm like, yeah, it's really good. Now that I've actually played it, and now I'm maybe my journey to have everyone at least like watch a playthrough, because I think it's much, honestly, I think Ethan enjoyed it more me playing it than him playing it, because you get to experience it, but you're not in the driver's seat.
yeah.
But that was also my first time playing it, so it was like there was a lot of time spent like trying to figure out stuff and everything else, and it's just like,
When you handed Ethan the controller the other night, he was just like, I don't know what to do. He just started walking around like looking at stuff.
yeah.
Did you beat it?
Yeah.
Or just not?
Yeah, it's not like a super, like if you know exactly what you're doing, you could probably blast through the game in like 5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
But not knowing, me and Ethan's first time through the game took us like almost 10.
Maybe you're just a bad gamer. Have you thought about that?
No, I haven't actually thought about that at all. I've never
You
considered
can't
myself.
speed run Soma in like 15 minutes.
I've never considered myself a bad gamer. I've played too many to actually have that title. I feel like it's kind of unnerving, like, because I realize like how many times I can just pick up a controller for a game and be like, oh, this is how this works. Sweet, got it.
I will say this: if/when Darius moves in, the keyword is if/when, because we don't know.
When he does.
Calling him out on the podcast. He brings his Switch, and boy, I bet you the most played game in this house is going to be Mario Kart.
Yeah, Mario Kart or Smash.
Bros. Yeah.
Like, because literally,
I'll be here for that.
yeah. So, well, you weren't
Sucks
here
to-
the last time it
sucks to
That
happened.
was the best.
There was a Sunday where I was like, okay, it looks like not everyone's going to be able to play D&D.
And then literally
so let's
everyone was
let's
here.
just hang out at my house.
And then everyone came.
And then
over.
everyone but Dalton came.
Yeah, because I had baseball.
So I'm like, well, shoot, okay. And then we just started playing Mario Kart. Boy, were people getting into it. I heard words from people that I did not hear before.
Looking at you, Hannah.
It was great. It was such an enjoyable time.
Mario Kart's great.
I also
Smash is great.
I have to now name a dog Shy Guy because I made a promise to a video game. I told Shy Guy if he would stay in first place the rest of that race,
And he did.
I would name my next dog after him, and he did his victory wobble.
Yeah.
Victory wobble.
That is the best reason to do Shy Guy is when he wins, he just flails his arms and it's adorable. He's like a Muppet. It's great. I love it.
I like the Muppets.
Love it. So yeah, no, that's those two. Yeah, I could see that being played quite a lot. Quite a lot for sure.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, we're gonna have like every game station in this house.
Yep.
Yep.
We're gonna have
We already
literally
have,
2 PlayStations, an
like,
Xbox, and a
double-
Switch.
We have double Xboxes.
Double
Yeah, we have
Xboxes.
double Xbox 360s and ones.
Yep. So this is gonna be a very interesting household. And then once we start streaming, that'll be fun too.
Oh man.
I know. We just got to get that studio set up at some point.
Yeah, I
You know,
know.
when we all get a day to just paint before
Yeah.
Dalton leaves because he's the tallest.
Yep.
You can't
Yeah.
reach that.
Yeah.
Huh?
We need your height.
Yeah, I know.
Literally, he
all
needs like a
short.
little step ladder and
Once,
he can reach
once,
the
you're, once
top.
you're done, get out of here.
Yeah,
Get out of here.
Once I've done my manual labor,
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's all the reason,
exactly.
all the reason you're here right now.
Only reason.
100%.
Only reason. Well, I think that's a good solid 30 minutes.
Yeah, I could talk for like another 2 hours on
We
video
know.
games, but
Yeah,
I
we
don't
know.
want to bore
We
everyone.
know.
Back when this used to be an hour-long podcast, and we might
And
make
we'd
it
still have more stuff to
Oh,
talk about
buddy.
after the hour.
it went from like the amount of times we talk about one subject and Tyler would inadvertently turn it to rap was very interesting.
I could do the same thing with
Way
video
to go,
games. Yeah, I know.
Did you not like that 50 Cent video game? Speaking of 50 Cent and all rappers
Blood
in
on the
general.
Sand. That is a timeless gem. All right, I won't have you taint the name of that game.
It's bad.
It's glorious, gloriously
Glorious.
No, it's bad.
bad. Gloriously
Glorious.
bad.
Play it to see how bad it is, and then throw your controller out the window.
Yeah,
Gloriously.
exactly.
I love playing games like that. Like Sonic 06.
Sonic 6 is my favorite
Yeah.
game of all time.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I thought you just said.
I 110% believe you right now.
But what about when he turns into a werewolf?
Not that one. That one's garbage. Sonic 06 is a masterpiece.
Isn't that the one where he falls in love with a human child?
That's
Probably.
not a child. Is Elise a child? She's
young.
she's much taller than Sonic, so I
Yeah,
forget.
but how old's Sonic, really?
She is definitely not legal yet.
But is Sonic legal?
Neither is bestiality.
That is a topic for a
According
different
to Amy,
podcast.
yes.
According to Amy, yeah, but
Well,
how sketchy is Amy?
we're not going
really?
to get into this topic
It's no
anymore.
use.
We're going to stop
It's
right
no
here
use.
because I got to go buy a dryer. So I have been Frank Joseph Hall,
I've been Tyler D. Spence.
I have been Evan Plumley.
And I've been Dalton online.
and we are continue to be ourselves. Okay, you,
Most
I
of
know
the
you're.
time.
I know. Just go ahead and throw in. That's how we'll end. Go. You got to throw it. All right, he made it.
Nailed
folks.
it.
He made it. Now, wait, and it comes back.